Friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Your support motivates us to keep researching and bringing you more content. Friends, stop right here. The coin you're looking at isn't just an ordinary Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look common, but in reality, it hides rare secrets that can be worth thousands, or even millions, for collectors. First, let's get a little background. In 1965, the United States made a huge change in its coinage system. Before this year, quarters were made with 90% silver. But starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver and introduced the copper-nickel-clad composition. This shift gives the 1965 quarter special historical importance, and it's also the year when unusual errors and variations appeared. Now, take a closer look at the surface of the coin. Most people dismiss the 1965 quarter as ordinary, but under careful inspection you can find small anomalies and unusual markings. Some coins were misstruck, some had planchet errors, and others showed rare doubling. And these little details can make the coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. For example, the 1965 transitional error quarter, mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet, sold at auction for $12,650. Some double die errors on 1965 quarters have sold for hundreds to thousands of dollars. Rare off-center strikes or clipped planchets also turned this coin into a true collector's gem. So how do you identify one of these treasures? Use magnification and carefully examine the coin. Check Liberty and In God We Trust for signs of doubling. Inspect the rim and edges for unusual clipping or misalignment. Most importantly, determine the coin's metal composition. If you come across a silver-based 1965 quarter, you've found a hidden treasure. Collectors widely believe that 1965 transitional errors are among the rarest and most valuable coins, because they mark the exact moment the U.S. Mint switched from silver to copper-nickel. Now let's talk about selling and protecting these coins. If you have a rare 1965 quarter, the first step is to send it for grading and authentication. Certified services like PCGS or NGC can verify its rarity, boosting its value dramatically. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or even eBay have seen these coins sell for record-breaking prices. Just remember, proper documentation and high-quality photos are key to attracting buyers. For preservation, always keep your coins in protective holders or capsules. Fingerprints, moisture, or scratches can reduce their value. If the coin is extremely rare or high value, it's best to store it in a safe deposit box. Some experts believe that even though silver quarters were pulled from circulation in 1965, a few thousand silver planchet quarters were struck by accident, and today they're considered a holy grail for collectors worldwide. In the last 20 years, coin collecting has grown tremendously. A coin worth just a few $100s in 2000 might sell for several thousand today. If you own a rare 1965 quarter, its value could keep climbing. If you're new to coin collecting, the 1965 quarter is a perfect place to start. It offers history, variety, and rare errors. And if you happen to find a transitional silver quarter, it could easily become the crown jewel of your collection. It's not just in the US. Collectors worldwide are obsessed with American coins, especially those with rare errors or historical significance. That's why the 1965 quarter is in such high demand internationally. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar isn't just a coin, it's a historical turning point. Every unusual detail, every error and every strike could be a clue leading you to a hidden treasure worth thousands, or even millions. So if you have a 1965 quarter, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully. You might just be holding a gold mine in your hands. Friends, we just explored the hidden secrets of the 1965 quarter, and now continuing this journey, Let's take a closer look at the 1998 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but in reality, it carries hidden errors, mint mark variations, and striking differences that can drive collectors crazy. The year 1998 is especially important because it came right before the turn of the century, and some pieces from this year feature misstrikes, clipped planchets, broad-struck coins, double dies, off-center strikes, and even repunched mint marks, RPMS, all of which make this coin highly desirable among modern collectors. When you place a 1998 quarter under a magnifier, you may notice doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust, rim clippings, partial collar errors, or unusual die cracks on the obverse or reverse. Those small details can instantly transform a common coin into a rare collectible. Some verified examples include ANACS/NGC graded off-center and broad-struck errors, missing clad layers, and even high-grade specimens in MS 67 to MS 68 that have commanded strong premiums at auction. Now let's talk about auction and listing prices. Representative examples show real-world values such as ANACS-MS 64 off-center error, around $200, major stamping, mint error. Around $450, high grade, NGC-MS 68 specimen. Around $250, missing clad layer, one or both sides. Around $175, missing obverse clad error. Around $99 if we total these representative figures. $200 plus $450 equals $650. $650 plus $250 equals $850, $900. $900 plus $175 equals $1,075. $1,075 plus $99 equals $1,174. This gives us an estimated combined value across different examples. Not the price of a single coin, but a snapshot of what various 1998 quarter errors and grades have sold for or been listed at in the collector's market. Another fascinating detail, some 1998 RPM, repunched mint marks, show extra impressions around the D or P, which makes them even more attractive to variety hunters. So, if you have a 1998 Washington quarter in your pocket or collection, check it carefully. Take high-resolution photos, look for doubling, clipping, missing layers, or mint mark anomalies. And if you find something special, consider sending it for professional grading with PCGS or NGC. Just like the rare transitional errors of 1965 surprised collectors with shocking prices, the 1998 errors and varieties can also turn into valuable treasures in today's coin market. Friends, wait a second. The coin you're looking at is not just an ordinary Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look completely normal, but hidden inside are secrets that could be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, for collectors. Let's start with a little background. When you closely examine the surface of a coin, what may seem like simple wear and tear or scratches often hides tiny anomalies and unusual markings. Most people ignore these little details, but for collectors, they're the clues that transform a regular coin into a gold mine. Slight doubling, misstrikes, or strange planchet errors are the kinds of small differences that can make a coin skyrocket in value, from a few dollars to thousands, even millions. Many people overlook these coins, assuming they're nothing special. But a knowledgeable collector knows exactly where to look, and that's how they discover these hidden treasures. During the 1970s, changes in U.S. coin production introduced subtle variations, and today, those variations hold incredible significance for collectors. They don't just represent a specific year, they showcase unique, rare features. Now, let's move on to the real features of this coin. Examine every scratch, every fine line on the surface, and pay close attention to the rims and edges. Rare errors often hide in these spots. Some 1970 quarters that were ignored for years have sold at auction for staggering amounts, proving that sometimes just one tiny flaw can change a coin's entire value. Take, for example, the legendary 1970s proof quarter that was struck over a 1941 Canadian quarter. That incredible mint error pushed its auction value up to $93,000. Another example is the 1970D doubled die obverse, FS101, where the words Liberty and In God We Trust show clear doubling. Coins like this have sold anywhere between $253 and $953 depending on grade. Even more astonishing, a 1970s proof quarter struck over an 1898 $5 gold coin also reached nearly $93,000 in value. And these are just a few examples. The real secrets of such coins are only revealed under high magnification and with expert evaluation. A tiny scratch, an unusual edge, or a misaligned detail could turn an ordinary coin into something worth life-changing money. Now let's talk about selling and preserving such coins. Before anything else, always get your coin authenticated and graded. If your coin carries rare errors or variations, only sell through reputable auction houses or certified dealers. A professional grading certificate, along with high-quality photos, will significantly boost both value and buyer confidence. Even if you're selling online, make sure every detail is clearly shown to avoid confusion or disputes. Remember, documentation and proof of rarity increase a coin's value far more than words alone. When it comes to safekeeping, always use protective holders or capsules to shield the coin from scratches, fingerprints, and moisture. Store them in controlled conditions away from extreme temperature or humidity. And if you own a truly rare, high-value piece, consider keeping it in a bank-safe deposit box or a secure storage facility. That way, your treasure remains safe for the future, whether you sell it now or years later. Collectors' success depends on two things: patience and proper care. A coin preserved the right way doesn't just keep its value. It often becomes more desirable over time. So, if you happen to own a 1970 Washington quarter, don't take it lightly. Get it checked, get it valued, and you might just be sitting on a hidden fortune.